Namaste. I'm Dr. Robert, and today my subject on 5-ish minutes with Dr. Robert is cannabis. Cannabis is a plant that has been used by human beings for many thousands of years. It is mentioned in Ayurvedic texts where it is chiefly used for chronic digestive problems, and for which purpose it can be very effective. Any substance, and for that matter any action, can always have three possible effects on the body. It can be used as a food, as a medicine, or as a poison. Most people don't use cannabis leaves as food, but theoretically, if you had nothing else to eat, you could probably stay alive on them for a while. Technically speaking, cannabis is not a poison per se. It is not so virulent that it will kill you. And it can, if properly used, be a good medicine. If it is not properly used, its effects will be more like a poison, but a slow poison, one that it very slowly and often imperceptibly dismantles parts of you that you really don't want dismantled. My colleague, Dr. Claudia Welch, likes to describe the effects of consuming too much cannabis as creating dirty yin. And dirty yin is sort of, it's a syndrome where instead of maintaining yourself and your environment, not in a ruthlessly and relentlessly clean and neat and tidy way, but in a way that facilitates the free flow of chi, of prana. And what happens with dirty yin is that because so much of the prana is being employed to explore different perspectives on reality, there is very commonly an inadequate amount of attention that is being paid to keep all of the energy in the environment circulating properly, and then dust and dirt and energy that is kind of dirty accumulates first in the periphery and then in the individual as a whole. So intoxicants, like cannabis, are meant to be used for specific purposes, and those purposes are to assist one to see things from different perspectives, but then to integrate those new perspectives in a meaningful way in one's own life. It is certainly true that cannabis is sacred to Lord Shiva, who enjoys consuming it all day long. But the operative principle here is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, who lives in the cremation grounds, who is in charge of terminating people's lives, and who is often represented as a Shivalinga. That means he is not affected by things. No matter what intoxicant he takes in, no matter what poison, because the strongest intoxicants are in fact poisons, no matter what he takes in, he never allows it to disturb his awareness. He always keeps it as his throat. That's why he's called Nilakanta. It's kept at the throat. It does not disturb the rest of him. Vimalananda was very emphatic about the fact that one should, if at all possible, have a teacher, a guide, a guru, when one is getting into the world of intoxicants. And at the very least, all intoxicants, and especially cannabis, should be employed as sacraments. They should be offered to the Supreme Reality, offered to a particular incarnation of the Supreme Reality, like Shiva, for example, or particularly in some of his more violent forms like Bhairava, or in the case of the goddesses, in the case of some of their forms like Kali and Chinnamasta and so on. Forms that are already, who are going to channel that energy in a spiritual direction. Without doing that, very likely you are going to be, even if you think you are moving in a spiritual direction, most likely you're just going to be reinforcing certain of your patterns that really don't need to be reinforced. So, cannabis is, like so many other intoxicants and like many poisons, is something that, if used in the right amount at the right moment with the right intention, can have a marvelous and wonderful effect. And used improperly, it can definitely make your life deteriorate significantly. This is Dr. Robert wishing everyone bum bum bole.